I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
Be all that you can.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
You can do it in the Army.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
Well, hey there, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. Here we are, folks. It's a new day. A new day is dawning. It's a kinder, gentler army. It's not a be-all-you-can-be. It's not an army of one, because I guess that was all we could afford.
Army strong, and that means diversity.
It's now the woke army. Welcome to the army, ladies and gentlemen, where you get to pick where you're stationed. Sir, ma'am, I was treated poorly at the mall today. I don't want to be stationed at Fort Hood. I want to go to Hawaii. Sir, ma'am, I don't like the way Koreans look at me. I want to go to Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, the entire United States Army is decamped from its massive deployments around the world, from Germany, from Korea, from Japan, from Okinawa, from the Philippines, from wherever they might be around the world, Iraq, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, all the stands. Fort Bragg, Fort Hood, Fort Meade, Fort McNair, Fort Lewis, Fort Bliss, Fort Huachuca, and they're all now located in Hawaii because everybody loves Hawaii. Seriously. Oh my goodness, folks. I'm not making this up. This is some real stuff, folks. Let me talk about this. Breaking from military.com. This story came out today. The Army is circulating a draft policy tweak that would specify that soldiers can request to move if they feel state or local laws discriminate against them based on gender, sex, religion, race, or, wait for it, pregnancy.
From gender reveal grenades and fabulous pride uniforms to our new pronoun dog tags.
Wow. Some states, this according to Lindsay Church, apparently the executive director of Minority Veterans of America, an advocacy group. Military shouldn't have advocacy groups that divide the military based on race, gender, ethnicity. That is bogus. We're one team, one fight. And any NGO that purports to support the military based on this, that, and the other is not supporting the military. You're undermining unit cohesion and esprit de corps. But according to Lindsay Church, some states are becoming untenable to live in. There's a rise in hate crimes and a rise in LGBT discrimination without any evidence, just a bold statement of nonsense. So, service members, it's unsafe for soldiers to live in the United States. How insane and insulting is this? Unbelievable. This is the typical self-flagellating, self-pleasuring, hate-wanking leftist bogus nonsense that comes out all the time. And I warned you, this is what was happening with our military. Thank goodness I retired after 36 and a half years before this lunacy reached a crescendo. Lindsay Church also says, in order to serve this country, people need to be able to do their job and know their families are safe. All of these states get billions for bases, but barely tolerate a lot of their service members. Now, where does that data come from? They barely tolerate a lot of their service members. And what is a lot? 40%, 70%, 90%, 2%? Total bogus. And people fall for this. Now, where does this come from? Is it just a rumor? Well, apparently there's a MILPER message on it. That's a military personnel message, which the Army uses to inform folks about policy clarifications. It's not been fully worked through, but they're looking at it. Last week, the Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Grinston, told lawmakers that the force is also considering a response to how they deal with the end of Roe versus Wade, but it's unclear what that policy will be. Now, I take deep offense at this. Deep offense at this. The law of the land was that the military would not fund abortions. So when I was a young non-commissioned officer, I was forced and not informed about why I was doing this. I had no idea to take a young soldier and drive her to Frankfurt to a private German clinic where she paid for an abortion. I only found out about it after she came out and she was heartbroken. I was forced to fulfill my duty to drive a soldier 70 miles away to have an abortion because the government doesn't fund abortions. Yet now we're going to move a pregnant service member to another state because they won't be able to have an abortion? What a bunch of nonsense. This is lunacy of the highest order.
You're reaching deep inside you. Go for things you've never known.
Now, TRICARE, the medical plan or insurance that covers active duty military and veterans and their family members, does pay for IUDs, contraceptive diaphragms, prescription contraceptives, and even surgical sterilization. Now, the article in military.com says this could all be severely curtailed if states go forward with banning or limiting birth control, as many service members and their families receive medical care paid for by TRICARE off base. What states are banning birth control? This is lunacy. These are lies by leftists. And shame on military.com for coming up with that nonsense. You can say that someone claims that, but to say that's going to happen is ludicrous. My goodness. What we're seeing across the board is a small group of elected officials who are trying to weaponize and politicize LGBTQ identities in despicable ways. They're not only doing that to our youth, but to the collateral damage is hurting our service members. Jacob Thomas, Communications Director for Common Defense, a progressive advocacy organization. Another fake organization that does not represent the Army, does not represent soldiers. Wow. He told military.com that troops can't be forced to live in places where they aren't seen as fully human. Really? So gay service members who fought in Afghanistan, who fought in Iraq, who would have been dropped from a rooftop had the enemy been able to get a hold of them because of their homosexuality, they were safe in Iraq and Afghanistan. They could serve there, but they can't serve in North Carolina or Florida or Texas or Pennsylvania or even California. What a bunch of nonsense. This is destruction. The purpose of that, if we're going to do this, we might as well defund the military.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Its purpose is not to be a pleasure ground for leftist hate wankers who seek to undermine cohesion and unity and esprit de corps. Its purpose is to meet the needs of the nation in national defense and also in service to civil authorities when it comes to disaster response and such. This all comes on top of nonsense last month about the Army's policy on April 21st about how they're going to normalize parenthood. What does this mean? Major Sam Winkler from 4th Cav Brigade of the 1st Army Division East. Now we have an Army Division East. What the heck? He said, we want to normalize parenthood in the military. It should be celebrated and encouraged, and you shouldn't choose between having a career and a family. Really? All right. So we're trying to conceive. You know what? I can't go on this deployment to Afghanistan today. I can't go on that Special Forces deployment to Somalia because my spouse and I have been trying to conceive for 6 years, and the doctor says it's going to happen this time. So let me stay here and knock boots with my spouse so we can have a child and conceive. Let's put family over national security. Ridiculous. And the military doesn't recognize families. That's been going on for decades. Why do you think they have youth activities and all these different things? We have Department of Defense dependent school system, DODs, all over the world. Every place there's military station in the United States, we pay local authorities for all those kids who normally wouldn't be there to attend school. We pay their tuition. It's just ridiculous. The Army's always celebrated families, but the new policies will allow for pregnant officers to attend schools they need for promotion, such as the Captain's Career Course. That's the advanced course, this silly new name. Pregnant non-commissioned officers will not be allowed to attend their school, however, but they will be promoted without having graduated from the school because pregnancy. So if you can't get promoted, just get pregnant. Then you'll get promoted. What the heck is going on? Additionally, commanders will also provide soldiers with lactation breaks at designated areas every 2 to 3 hours for no less than 30 minutes each. Okay. So an 8-hour day, 2 hours of it spent breastfeeding your child at a minimum. Plus you have to get to the space. You have to come back from the space. You have to get changed. So why bother coming to work? Ridiculous. Well, and the space must be a place to sit, a flat surface, and a refrigerator to store milk. So now we have to buy fridges. Oh, my goodness. Now, General McGonville, the Chief of Staff of the Army, said, we recruit soldiers, but we retain families. Winning the war for talent means making sure our best and brightest people don't have to choose between service and family. Really? Really? We've had an all-volunteer force since the 1970s. Where was this concern before? The Army doesn't pay for in vitro fertilization for couples incapable of having children, but it will pay for gender reassignment surgery. Well, folks, it's a brave new world out there. That's right. It's a new Army. And, I think I'm going to wear this hat because apparently you can't be all you can be. We're not an army of one. We're an army of, if your feelings are hurt, just complain to the boss. Sir, I don't like it here. They're mean to me. They've been bullying me. Well, I'm sure you're a fine soldier, and gosh, we wouldn't want to send you to combat with such a fragile ego. Oh, enjoy your trip to Hawaii. Fort Shafter will enjoy you out there. Lots of pineapples. Enjoy. Cheers, folks. Hey, if you're not a subscriber to Chris Wyatt Reports, why don't you become one? incredible content right here on the channel. Be sure to smash the like button. Leave any comments behind if you like. The new Army, its mission is not national defense. Its mission is to undermine the nuclear family and destroy American society. Welcome to the New World Order.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
You can do it in the army.